Welcome to Bible Story Time, and thank you for joining us. Today we explore a story of unwavering integrity, a story that asks, what does your faith look like when it's tested not in a moment of passion, but by the quiet consistency of your daily habits? This is the story of Daniel in the lion's den. Our story finds Daniel as an old man. He had outlasted empires. He had served under King Nebuchadnezzar in Babylon and was now a top administrator in the new Persian Empire under King Darius. He was an elderly statesman with a lifetime of wisdom and a reputation for excellence. He was so distinguished and trustworthy that the king planned to set him over the entire kingdom. But excellence often breeds jealousy. The other high officials and satraps were consumed with envy. They desperately wanted to find a flaw in Daniel, some charge of corruption or neglect they could use to bring him down, but they couldn't. The Bible says they could find no fault in him because he was trustworthy and neither corrupt nor negligent. So they devised a wicked plan. If they couldn't attack his professional conduct, they would attack his personal faith. They knew Daniel's one unshakable habit. 3 times a day he would pray to his God. They went to King Darius with cunning flattery. "O King Darius, live forever. We all agree, all the administrators, satraps, and governors, that you should issue a royal decree. For the next 30 days, anyone who prays to any god or human being except to you, your majesty, shall be thrown into the lion's den." The king, flattered by this display of loyalty, signed the decree. And under the law of the Medes and Persians, once a decree was signed by the king, it could not be repealed. The trap was set. Now, what did Daniel do when he learned of this new law designed to kill him? He could have prayed in secret. He could have closed his windows. He could have compromised for just 30 days. But Daniel went home to his upstairs room where the windows opened toward Jerusalem. He got down on his knees and prayed, giving thanks to his God, just as he had done before. He didn't hide. He didn't waver. His character, forged over a lifetime of faithfulness, would not be broken by a single threat. His enemies were watching. They caught him in the act and rushed to the king. "Daniel is ignoring you and your decree. He still prays to his God 3 times a day." King Darius was horrified. He realized he had been tricked, and he was deeply distressed. He spent the rest of the day in a frantic search for a loophole to save Daniel, but his hands were tied by his own law. As evening fell, Daniel was brought to be thrown to the lions. The heartbroken king said to him, "May your God, whom you serve continually, rescue you." Daniel was cast into the den, and a stone was placed over the mouth of it, sealed with the king's own ring. All hope was lost. The king spent a sleepless night, fasting and refusing any entertainment. At the first light of dawn, he rushed to the lion's den. He called out in an anguished voice, "Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom you serve continually, been able to rescue you from the lions?" And then a voice from the darkness, a calm, living voice. "May the king live forever. My God sent his angel, and he shut the mouths of the lions. They have not hurt me, because I was found innocent in his sight." Overjoyed, the king ordered that Daniel be lifted from the den, and when he was brought out, there was not a single wound on him, because he had trusted in his God. The king then commanded that the men who had falsely accused Daniel be thrown into the den, and the lions, who had been like kittens for Daniel, immediately overpowered them. King Darius then sent out a new decree to every nation, declaring that the God of Daniel was the living God, who rescues and saves. This is more than a story about surviving lions. It's a story about the power of quiet, consistent integrity. Daniel's deliverance from the den was a public miracle, but it was earned in the private discipline of his prayer room, day after day, year after year. His courage in the face of death wasn't a sudden burst of bravery. It was the natural result of a lifetime of walking with God. We all have our own lion's dens, the moments of pressure where our character is tested, where it's easier to compromise than to stand firm. Daniel's story challenges us. Is our faith just a public performance? Or is it rooted in the small, unseen, daily habits of devotion? Are we the same person in private as we claim to be in public? Because it is in those quiet moments, when no one is watching, that the character is forged to stand strong when the whole world is. Thank you for watching Bible Story Time. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. These ancient stories still breathe life, reminding us that the God who shut the mouths of lions honors the faithfulness he sees in secret.